So both candidates are pushing to get out the vote on the final day before millions of Americans head to the polls for in-person voting. More than 77 million already casting their ballots, either by mail or in early voting in person. And with 19 electoral votes, Pennsylvania is getting a lot of attention today. Chief political analyst Brit Hume is with us here. The New York Times has a headline that says, in Pennsylvania, Republicans stress optimism while Democrats just stress. Is that typical, or does that tell you anything?
I don't think it tells us very much. I mean, the mood of the campaigns is interesting at a certain point. In fact, actually, Dana, when we used to cover these things the old-fashioned way before there were so many polls, we would really care about that. You'd look at, you'd go to rallies and you'd talk to the campaign managers and so on, and you'd pick up a sense of their optimism. And of course, they have internal data that they don't publish. And they oftentimes, that could often used to tell you something. Nowadays, we're so swamped with polls, and the polls, over time have been reasonably helpful. So what we do is we start with the polls and work back, right? And I think, with the polling troubles we've had in the last two cycles, that might no longer be the best way to do it.
I think it's an excellent point. I mean, you used to gauge it by the attitude, the energy, the enthusiasm, the message.
Right.
How he or she was feeling or acting on a particular day.
You'd see a candidate who's campaigning on one thing and then switches to something else at a certain stage. Sometimes a candidate can find a message and go with it, and you can sense whether it's working. And sometimes they're changing because what they're doing isn't working, and that tells you they think they're in trouble. So these are all the kind of signs we used to look for, and we still do to some extent. But most of the time, we look at those and we say, well, what do the polls say? Right?
That's where we are. Here's Vivek Ramaswamy on the youth vote, Gen Z, with Jesse.
In particular, I think one thing that's going to swing this election, unlike any other, is Gen Z turnout, especially in places like Pennsylvania. If they come out in droves, and what I'm seeing is a big turn amongst young voters to Trump in a way that hasn't been true for Republicans in a generation, if not ever. And if they actually show up, these first-time so-called low-propensity voters, I think that could be the margin here. If they don't show up, I think it's a different story.
People who are 25 and under, typically they're in the low margins for those who vote. The other thing to consider is that registration gains that Republicans have made in these battleground states, they really think it could be the secret sauce on Tuesday.
Well, if you're looking for a broad overall trend in this election, and you hear that Republicans' growth in registration has been much greater in key places than the Democrats, you would think that was really a telltale sign. And now what we're hearing is, you saw also high early vote turnout by Republicans, much higher than before. You would normally think of that as a sign. And yet some Democrats are saying, well, they're just cannibalizing their election day vote. I've heard that before. I heard that from Republicans 4 years ago, right, about the early vote when Democrats were doing better in it. Republicans said, oh, it's just cannibalizing the election day vote. We vote on election day. Well, Republicans figured out that getting them out early is a good idea, and they're doing it this time.
A pretty good spin cycle.
Yeah, and also I'm really interested in seeing how the political realignment that we're living through plays out tomorrow night, like with the union vote, for example, or the big gender gap between men and women, and also the population changes, especially since COVID. A lot of people moving into North Carolina, but also they've lost 270,000 Democrats, they say, in North Carolina. So it feels like maybe the board has been upended.
It does, and of course we're going to be looking at this. This realignment is real. I mean, the Republican Party we knew, the Reagan Republican Party, is gone, and even if Trump falters, fails, doesn't win, and ends his political career, the changes that have been wrought while he's been the prominent figure in the party, I think, are enduring, and we have a new Republican Party for sure.
Interesting. I wonder who picks up that mantle if that's the case.
Good question.
If he were to win, it would be one of the more dynamic political stories in American history.
Well, I remember so vividly, and I was a little embarrassed about this myself, because I remember after January 6th, I said, this guy is done. He's radioactive. The Republican Party is going to reject him now. This was a horrible mess that was made there, and the whole fight to try to overturn the election was a terrible mistake, I thought it would be the end of it. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah. Likewise, if she wins, it's history also.
Oh, I should say so. First black, first woman. I mean, first black woman, first woman.
And don't forget the switcheroo. She had 100 days to campaign after.
People say, have you ever seen an election like this? Well, no, not exactly. I don't remember a sitting president up for re-election dropping out of the race with weeks to go. I mean, that was That was a big deal.
It's going to be a hell of a day and a long night. We'll see what we get in the end.
And it will be an honor to sit with you tomorrow night.
Thank you.
On election night.
I'm glad to be able to be there.
Okay, great.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.